To understand this better, I'm just logging on here as a sales user. I've logged on as Susan May, and I'm going to go and search for existing quotes inside the system. Now, as I load and list out these quotes, we can see that quotes have different reference numbers, and we can see as well that quotes are active or inactive. Inside my system, quotes are ordered with a different reference number according to settings which are controlled by the administrator. The administrator can configure the area of product quotations and the whole area of setting up orders and quotes to use different reference figures. And we can also see we can control the way in which the quotation is allowed to be active. So after a while a quotation has been sent, it'll be ineligible and it will expire as a valid quote. Now I'm going to just come in to look at an existing quotation. Let's go into this particular one, and we can see that the quotation reference is listed here. We can see that there's a price list being used. We can see its status listed out here and when it expired. And we can also start to look down at the items that have been added into this particular quotation. Now, if I create for myself a new quotation, I can do this in a couple of ways. One, I can go to the level of the opportunity and create a new quotation under this existing opportunity. So I'm going to call this test quote, and I'll call it test quote 1, and I can associate it with a price list, and I can choose next. Now once it's in here, I can choose to add in a different item. So I can choose the line items that I want, and you'll notice here that first of all I select the idea of the product family, and I choose the item that I want from within the product family, going down into the end user licenses and choosing the unit of measure that I want to use. Of course, these units of measure don't have to be sort of license packs. They could be just as well cartons or pallets or whatever unit of measure the items are being sold in. And if I choose save, we can now see that our quotation is all set up with its reference, with its expiry date, and we can see that the pricing list was the item that determined what was the availability of the item that we were including within our quote. All of this that we have just used here is controlled by the administration area, and I'll look at that in a moment. One last thing though before we do this is that if I navigate away to my CRM, so I'm completely out of context, and start the process of creating a new quote, what we'll see is that we can start to create a new quote, and in my default system, if I say set up a new quote for a company like Gatecom, it's going to automatically create for me not only this new quote, but it'll also infer and create a new opportunity. This is the idea that it's speeding up the quotation process. So this is my test quote 2, and I'll choose next. Now I'm not going to go on and enter in the different line items in here, because what I wanted to prove here is that we now have a quotation automatically created underneath the company Gatecom, so we can see that listed out here. Again, this is controlled through the products feature, the product management feature inside the administrative area.